So I recently asked you lot, what's the funniest, weirdest, most pointless inset day you've ever had to endure? The start of the school year, schools usually have a couple of days where they'll have staff training, and I've had some amazing training days with some incredible trainers that have had such a massive impact on my teaching practice. I've also had some dreadful ones, and obviously now I lead a lot of inset, a lot of training, staff meetings and so on. So I was interested to see what sort of came from some of the comments. And you didn't disappoint. Team building exercises, spaghetti, marshmallows, building a bridge, newspaper to build a structure. All he wanted to do was just be in the classroom sorting out the cupboards. How to reduce and manage stress and workload. The trainer was so stressed while she delivered the training. A mindfulness inset where we had to pretend they were different animals and roam around the hall. Then we had to roll a ball to each other and concentrate on it. Spent 2 hours listening to a man talk about wellbeing for teachers, having told us that the best thing he ever did for his own wellbeing was leave teaching. And this absolutely brutal one, teachers had to go around every classroom and name 3 things that weren't good. You then had to read your list out in front of everyone. So after reading through all those comments, I've come up with a bit of a list of things. If you're leading a staff meeting or inset, these are a few things you probably want to avoid. The first one being, don't do activities that treat staff like they're kids. They don't need it. By all means, do activities, but do activities around things that teachers are actually going to use or actually going to do. I don't think teachers, going off the comments, they don't want to be roaming around the floor in the hall pretending to be an animal. Which links into point 2, don't patronise the staff or make it about you. There's loads of comments of people who just led a staff meeting where they talked about themselves. That's not going to help other teachers, you know. Number 3 is don't contradict yourself. So if you're going to do a staff meeting on whatever it might be, engaging activities, making teaching more inspiring and fun, don't then make that inset the most boring inset you could possibly imagine where people are fighting to stay awake. Yeah, I think this is a given. If it can be done in an email, sort of do it in an email. I think the theme of staff meetings that came up the most for being pointless and rubbish was definitely wellbeing sessions. Now, I'm not saying these shouldn't happen, but there's absolutely no point in having a wellbeing session if you're working at a school where workload is just unsustainable. That's going to have absolutely no impact. And lastly for now, and you probably worked this one out, don't just read through a PowerPoint during the staff meeting. No one wants it. No one likes it. If you're going to do that, just email it. You know, it's just mind-numbing. And I'm not saying don't have slides. I have slides on my training, refer to them, but then we're off, we're chatting, we're going through other bits and bobs. They're just sort of a starting point. I'm not going to sit there and read through word for word because I'd fall asleep, let alone the staff.